Hey everyone, welcome to your practice. We're just going to go ahead and dive right in. Sitting up in Sukhasana, start to squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears. On the inhale, exhale, roll it down and back. So we're just going to do a few of these rounds, opening up the throat, the shoulders, the head, the neck. Stretch your arms up overhead. Inhale, shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Exhale, shrug it back down. So this is a great practice when you want a little bit of invigoration for your day. Inhale, lean to one side. Make sure both sit bones are rooted on the floor. Exhale, cactus it open as you twist open. So we're getting into the front of the shoulders, the chest area. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open it up. So just a couple of these movements here, opening up the mid and cervical spine. Reach it over. Relaxing the shoulder away from your ear. Breathing deep. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, coming over to the other side. Same thing here. Gently spin the heart open and then exhale, draw that elbow downward into that cactus shape. You can go as deep or as subtle as you want here. This cactus really opens up the chest, the collarbones. Cactus, both arms open. Exhale, draw it in. So we're in this kind of cat-cow shape with the spine. Inhale, elbows pull back. Exhale, forearms draw in. A few more rounds here. And then exhale, twist to one side. So we're going to place one hand on the knee, one hand behind you. I'm kind of opening up the neck here if you want to do that. This can be a very gentle twist as we get started. Twists are so good for detoxification, for digestive health, just for kind of like starting anew in your day. Couple more breaths here. And then reaching the arms up. Exhale, twisting to the opposite side. So again, shoulders move away from your ears, widening out through your sit bones. Relax here. You can gently half roll the neck if you'd like. And then coming forward, we're just going to walk the hands forward a little bit and then rippling the spine. So I like to come up to my fingertips. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, puff up the back of the heart. Thinking about an ocean wave here, moving through the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead, feeling that length. Exhale, hands to heart center. Here you can set an intention for your practice or for your day ahead. Feeling into the stillness of this moment, this precious space that you're carving out for yourself. All right, so I got some blocks here. We're going to start standing today. So feet hip width, and we're just going to start with the feet, opening up the soles of the feet, rocking to the toes, lifting the heels, rocking to the heels. Soles of the feet hold a lot of connection to other organs in the body. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, I'm going to twist to my left. So the hips are mostly facing forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. I know my head is a little cut off here, but you get the gist. Inhale, reach it up, extended mountain. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. And then we're going to walk it out to our first down dog. Take a few moments to pedal out through the legs, lift and lower the heels. I always like to keep a bend in the knee, so I'm not overstretching. If down dog is not in your practice today, I like to always come to hands and knees as an alternative. Inhale, ripple forward to plank pose. Pausing here, pressing the heels back as you feel that strength through your core. The crown of the head is reaching forward. You can also set the knees down if you need more gentleness, and then press it back, down dog. creating length through the spine, back of the neck. Continuing with your nice steady breath here. Inhale back to plank, and then exhale, bring that right knee down and then draw it up. So we're kind of activating the core here for a little bit of fire. And reach it back. Three-legged plank, three-legged dog, tripod. Pressing more into the fingertips rather than the wrists so that we protect the wrists. Bend the knee, open the hip, just for a couple moments here. Square the hips off again. And then set that knee back down. Wrists under, shoulders lift that leg up here. So here my right leg is lifted. I'm just kind of pulsing the leg, and then I'm lifting and lowering the leg kind of to the two edges of my mat. A little bit of Pilates flow here. Kind of just creating some fire through the glutes, the legs, waking up the body. And then I'm going to open it up to side plank. So my right hand is down, left hand on the hip, flexing that opposite leg. Reaching the top arm up. You can always modify as you need. So if you need to keep that top leg down, you can. If you'd like, you can bend the knee, grab for the ankle, the shin, or the foot for a little bit of a quad stretch. So if you can't do that today, that's fine. You'll see me wobbling. You could just keep that leg extended. Just a nice little stretch. As I have the foot, I'm opening up through the chest, reaching back out. And then stepping that left foot outside the left hand, coming into our lizard lunge. So especially since we're still warming up, you may not want to go as deep. You can use your blocks under your hands if that's better. I'm just kind of moving around a little bit, stretching the backs of the hamstrings, moving the hips back, bending that knee, rippling the spine forward. So just a couple rounds of this forward and back motion. Just make sure you're not directly on that kneecap. We want to protect the knee. You can use something under your knee or double up your mat if you need to. So I'm kind of still doing a little bit of cat-cow in the spine here. And I'm going to walk that foot to the center of the hands now for a regular low lunge. Lift the back knee for a runner's lunge twist. Right hand down, left arm lifts. You can also keep the back knee down if you'd prefer. Breathing here, sternum through the hand that's extended. Draw it back down. And then lift that top leg. Right leg reaches up. Extending the chest. Exhale, fold forward. We'll do that a couple times. Inhale, extend through the chest. Exhale, fold forward really strong through that back leg. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend both knees, tap the back knee to that extended calf. Draw it in, open it back up. Couple rounds like this. So building a little bit of heat and strength through the legs. I'm going to step it all the way back into a high crescent lunge. If you want to just drop the back knee down instead for a low lunge, I invite you to do that. Reach it up here. Maybe a mini back bend. Exhale, frame that front foot, step back to plank. Moving through a little vinyasa flow. I like to go to the floor and then lift up baby cobra. So lengthening and strengthening through the back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, half Shalambhasana, keeping the toes on the floor as I reach back. Exhale. Coming into a little bit of a child's pose or puppy dog pose. Puppy dog is where the hips stay up a bit more. Start to melt your forehead into the mat, widen through your sacrum, that low back. Breathing here. Breathing, 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 nice and deep. Letting it all go. You can stay here as long as you'd like, and whenever you need, come back to child's pose for a little break. All right, I'm going to come back up to hands and knees, cat-cow, and then pressing back to a down dog. Feeling through the backs of the legs, heels toward the floor, shifting around, pedaling it out. Coming up to the toes, shift forward to plank. We'll do that other sequence on the other side. So reaching the opposite knee in and then lifting and lowering that knee a few times. Waking up the core, reach it back, three-legged plank, three-legged dog. I think I accidentally did the same side twice, so just whatever side you didn't do, you can come into that. Bringing that knee forward, reach the top leg back up, and then we'll do those little rainbow movements. So moving the toes from one end of the mat to the other. Yep, see, I switched it up here because I realized. So the core is strong, back of the neck is long. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, knee comes through, and then we're going to come into the lizard pose again. So that right foot steps outside of the hands. Open up through the hips. Sink low. Breathe. And then walking the foot into the center of the hands, reaching it up for our twisted runner's lunge. You can also keep the back knee down. I think I sneezed there. And then coming to our side plank. And so you can just stay here with the knee down, the right foot extended, or you can bend the knee and grab for the foot. Totally up to you. I think I fall a couple times. Proof that even those of us that practice pretty much every day, we're all still learning and growing. That's good. I think I kind of reorganized the organization here. So if you want to do that forward and backward movement with your legs, you can do that here. So stretching the hamstrings as the hips reach back, exhale, inhale, bending the knee, opening through the collarbones and the chest. Feeling that deep stretch in the backs of the legs. And then folding over that extended leg. So especially in these longer holds, that's a great time to come back to your breath and take a few deep breaths. Eventually we'll make our way up to that high crescent lunge. So the front knee is bent directly over the ankle, so we're still protecting the knee. And then coming into that supported warrior three. So extending, bending the knees as we draw it in. We'll do that a few times. Exhale as you draw it in. Inhale, extend, not just through the legs, but also through the spine. Stepping it back into that high lunge. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. I think I was checking on my posture here. I tend to overextend a little bit. Stepping back to plank, exhale, moving through a little vinyasa flow. And if you want to do a chaturanga, up dog, down dog, you're always welcome. I usually do a gentler version with a baby cobra and a child's pose. And so meeting either in that child's pose or down dog for a few breaths. This pose, by the way, I'm actually in puppy dog pose, is really good for digestion. If you ate too much at dinner time or you're feeling bloated or a little bit not so great, you can come into that pose. It kind of helps things move along. Pressing back to your down dog. And then jump or step toward the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, drop the crown of the head. Bend your knees, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pausing here for a moment, sinking down into the four corners of each foot. Taking a moment here to feel that sense of grounding. Bend your knees, lift up and reach. Exhale, pour it forward. Inhale, halfway lift up. Exhale, plank, moving through a vinyasa. So if this is too many down dogs for you guys, you can always come to hands and knees. All right, I'm going to step my right foot forward, and then I'm going to swivel to the long edge side of the mat, coming into Skandasana. So you can come all the way down like what I'm doing. You can also stay up. Essentially, you're just bending one knee and lengthening or straightening the opposite knee. If you come all the way down, you can also reach the arms up. So I'm kind of doing the more advanced version here, but you can also stay up and just bend one knee, moving side to side. Coming into goddess pose. So the knees come directly over the ankles, hands in front of the heart, doing a little bit of pulsing here, squats, activating that fire once again. This is kind of a slow vinyasa class. So we want to bring the fire, we want to bring the heat, especially as we move towards summer. Getting a little bit deeper here. Inhale, starfish pose, reach it up, press the feet into the mat. Exhale, draw it back down, hands to heart. Kind of shifting side to side. You could be still, do whatever you want here. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, draw it down. All right, I'm going to do triangle on each side. Doesn't matter what side. So the hips reach back as you reach toward your shin or your ankle or maybe a block. So it's kind of like a warrior two, but that front knee is straighter. The hips reach back. Exhale, the top arm comes down toward your foot. Inhale, reach it up. This feels really nice. Exhale, draw that top arm down towards your foot. Inhale, reach it back up. Hand to the hip. I'm going to come directly into Virabhadrasana 3 or half moon. It's not Virabhadrasana 3, actually. That was warrior 3. And then I'm going to come into this seated twist. If you're like, what just happened? Just come to your seat, bend your left knee and cross it over your right knee. Make sure both sit bones are on the floor. You can also extend that right leg forward if you need. I don't always move this quickly in between the poses, but I was really feeling it today. Just wanted to get some fire going. And as you're in this deep twist, you just keep breathing. Coming out of the twist, step all the way back, and then we're going to come to that second side. So both of my feet are on one line. So they're stacked. I'm going to reach that top arm up. So some of you might have the bottom hand on a block or on your shin, and then lifting and lowering that top arm. This feels really nice for the back of the leg. You don't need to completely straighten that front knee. You can just keep it softer if you'd like. Just make sure that back leg is strong. And coming into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. There we go. And if you don't want to come into the full half moon today, that's okay. Crouching down into our seated twist. So again, you can just sit down, bend the right knee over the other leg. You can also extend that left leg forward if you'd like on the floor. Twisting toward the right knee. Take a few breaths here. Deeply softening into the shoulders, the chest. Let it go. And coming out of the twist now, I just extend my legs forward. If you'd like, you can place a block in between the thighs, but you don't have to. It's optional. I'm going to come to my back. Knees are at 90 degrees. Hands behind the head, and I'm just going to tap. So doing a little bit of core work here. You can go as low or not so low as you want. You can tap the toes toward the floor. You can also keep them a little bit more hovered off the floor. This is a nice exercise for the abdominals. Again, stoking that fire as we move toward summer. So in the heat of the summer, in the middle of the summer, that's like when I like to do more cooling practices. So as we're building up toward it, this is nice. And I'm just going to reach my feet above my hips and then lift and lower toward my feet. Again, you don't need a block. I'm going to lift my shoulders off the mat as I keep reaching toward the feet. Hold and then exhale, releasing that block. And then I'm going to reach one leg forward, hovering off the mat, exhale, twisting. It's a little bit of a bicycle here. So as I lower that left, I crunch toward the right leg. Lower the right, I crunch toward the left, side to side. As I lift, I'm kind of peeling my shoulder blades off the mat. Doing a lot of solar plexus work, which is connected to fire and the sun. And then bringing the feet toward the mat, coming into a little bridge pose to offset all that core. So here my hands are down, and then I'm interlacing the fingers. You can lift your hips up more if you'd like. Feeling that stretch through the belly. Maybe you want to lift your heels up, maybe not. You can reach the arms overhead. Feel that deep stretch. Exhale, slowly lower everything down. Hugging the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little low back massage here. Coming back to your breath. Happy baby pose. Knees come out wide, grabbing for your shins or your ankles. Just make sure that low back again is pressed firmly into the mat. And finding some stillness here, feeling that space that's being created at the inner seam of the leg. Now I'm going to squeeze in a little bit more core work. Again, that's optional, but you can crunch it up in between the legs here. You might want to keep the knees bent, or you can straighten them just a few rounds. You could skip this if you'd like. Relax it back down, knees into the chest. I'm going to come into a supine twist. The left knee crosses over the body, the left arm reaches out wide, gazing toward the left side. Little stretch from what we just did. Knee comes in, and then opposite leg goes out. Knee comes up and over, gazing toward that extended arm. I'm going to rock and roll on my spine a few times to eventually come up to Navasana, boat pose. You can dig your heels into the floor for more support. You can reach the arms back, or you can reach it forward for the full thing. And then I'm just kind of going side to side, placing my heels toward the floor, a little bit more core work. I think this practice should be called stoking the fire. I'm going to twist toward the left, twist toward the right. Reached up. Woo! Altar pose, again, stretching everything out through the belly, lifting the hips up. You can keep the chin in if you prefer. Breathing here, and then coming back down, exhale. Straddle pose. Now we get to really relax. Relax your shoulders, reach your arms over your head, point and flex your feet. Exhale, folding forward any amount. I like to bring my thumbs into my forehead. It's a nice way to calm the mind and relax. Softening, softening. My feet are flexed up toward the ceiling here. Go as deep or not so deep as you want. This is your practice. Starting to slow things down a bit in now at this point. And so with that, you want to slow down your breath, focusing on a longer exhale than your inhale. Especially if you like to move a million miles a minute, those moments of stillness can be some of the hardest parts of our practice, but they're so important. I'm going to come into deer pose. So it's kind of like a lazy woman's pigeon pose. I'm just going to bend the left knee, bend the right knee, and then kind of just lean onto the left side. So I'm not in a full pigeon. I'm just leaning onto the left side. There's still a subtle stretch on that left hip. I like to bring a prop under my forehead. You can just, some of you might want to be farther up so it's not as much of a stretch on the hip. Continuing to breathe deep and then slowly come up. Just coming to the other side. So now you can see it a little bit better here. I'm kind of just leaning onto my right hip. Both knees are bent at about 90 degrees, folding over toward the right side. I love this hip opener because it's not too intense, but it's still nice. If for some reason these hip openers are not working for your body, you can always come to your back and cross one foot over your thigh for a figure 4 position. Breathing here again, exhale a little bit longer than the in breath. Starting to quiet things down, slow things down, calming down that fire. And begin to come back up. I'm going to sit on a block in Sukhasana. You don't have to sit on a block, but it's really nice to help your posture. And we're just going to end here with a little seated meditation. Relaxing the shoulders away from your ears, softening your forehead and your cheeks and your chin. And palms face up in this gesture of receiving and being receptive. You can even draw the pointer finger toward the thumb, wisdom seal. This is the way that we're integrating our practice and resting here. You don't have to judge yourself if there's thoughts coming up. Thoughts will come and go. We're human. Hopefully you feel a little bit more spacious after this short practice today. And just emptying out. You can place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, setting any further intentions or maybe calling in gratitude for your body, your practice, your life. all that you already have, all that is going well, and honoring the challenges as well as growing tools. Just a few more breaths here. Bringing the hands toward the forehead, bowing forward, honoring yourself, your practice, and your body. Thank you for practicing with me, everyone, and I'll see you soon.